Hello, fellow students. Today we are going to learn about a poem of your class, My Own True Family by Ted Hughes. The full name of Ted Hughes is Edward James Ted Hughes. He was a poet of English literature and had been the poet laureate of Great Britain from 1984 till his death. His famous works include Birthday Letters, The Hawk in the Rain, and Tales from Ovid. The word laureate means a honorary position that is appointed by the monarch of United Kingdom on the advice of Prime Minister. Now we are going to learn about the poem. What is the focus of the poem? What is the theme of the poem? This poem, My Own True Family, describes a magical experience of a young child that is a poet in an oak wood. Oak wood is a jungle made of oak trees, and it indicates that human beings and trees should thrive or grow as a single family. The poem also focuses strongly on the need to protect our natural environment for the welfare of mankind before it is too late. The poem is also a warning to the mankind that if humans do not restrain or stop their greed and continue to chop down trees and don't plant trees back to fill the absence, then this will surely lead to destruction of all living creatures on earth. I have explained the first two stanzas by stanza and give a summary of these stanzas that will help you to understand the whole poem and the concept of the poem. The first two stanza have been explained in this slide is you can open up your textbook and read out loudly these lines were the first two stanzas and understand the summary of it, understand the theme of it. The first two stanza is once I crept in dot 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 to a stake. The poet has written this letter, or sorry, not letter, a poem in a dream narration. What is in dream narration means that the poem he has written was seen in a dream, and after that dream, the poet has wrote this poem. The poet here, the poet starts with that the poet once went to an oak wood in search of a stag that is called a male deer, a red male deer. There he met a very weak and feeble old woman. She showed a bag to the poet and said she knew his secret, which perhaps made the poet very curious. Then the old woman began to shake her bag in a magical way, and suddenly the poet found himself surrounded by a tribe and tied to a stake. Stake here means a piece of wood where the poet was tied on. Next stanza is they said dot we are the dot 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 but never grow. The tribes were nothing but the oak trees. The tribes who tied the poet are nothing but oak trees, and they said to the poet that they are his own families. They expresses their unhappiness, saying that human beings chop them down mercilessly. They threatened the poet that they would kill him unless he made a promise to stop this destruction of trees, felling of trees mercilessly. They made the poet make a promise that from now on he would plant two trees or more trees whenever one tree is cut. If the poet would not make this promise, then the old oak tree would devour him or hurt him. The last stanza, the poet realizes that all the incident happening to him is just not real incident, it's a fake incident, It all happens in the dream of the poet. But when the poet wakes up from his dream, his inner conscience means that the understanding of inner self, the transformation which had happened after the dream, যেটাকে বাংলায় আমি বলবো বিবেক, অন্তর্বিবেক, যেটা আমরা উপলব্ধি করি, has already transformed. This inner conscience has already transformed after the dream that the poet had seen. He then feels sorry about the trees, and on behalf of mankind, he realizes his mistake and their mistakes, mankind's mistakes, and his heart filled with compassion for the trees. Here in the poem, the poetic devices used, a lot of poetic devices are used here. One is metaphor. Metaphor, you know that it is a comparison between two different things. Here in the first line, or in the woman who all nobly sticks and rag is stands for the poor and exploited condition of mother nature. Next is personification. Personification means whenever we give some inanimate object a human qualities or attribution, it is called a personification. The oak tree give has given the attribution or qualities of human being, so that is why the oak tree beings happen to be personified here. There are all symbols used in the poem. When in the first line the child was searching for a stag, means a male deer, it's symbol of man's quest for the ideal attained, means man's all desire to attain everything. His quest means খোঁজ করা বা seek করা. The dream that altered or changed the child is a symbol for spiritual awakening, reawakening. Sorry, spiritual means atta, a reawakening means punarjanmo, means the poet had already transformed totally, and he has become a new person and with new perspective and ideas or notions that made the poet realizes that mankind was making such a big mistakes. Next, the word meaning which is used in the poem, which would be helpful for you. One is creep, that means to move slowly on hands and knees. Hamaguri diye chola. Stag means here male deer. Nobly here means a small rounded handle, যেটা ওই স্টিক মধ্যে রাখা ছিল, যার উপর ডিপেন্ড করে ওল্ড উমেনটা হাঁটছিল. র্যাগ হেয়ার মিন্স ওয়েস্ট পিস অফ ক্লোথ, যেটা সিম্বল অফ the symbol of poor condition of mother nature. Crackle means here to laugh especially in a harsh manner, কর্কশ ভাবে হাসি. Quake means here shiver, tremble or shake, means kapuni. Twice awake here, it has a symbolical meaning. It means aridity, শুষ্কতা, and barrenness, অর্থাৎ অনুর্বরতা. The poet here in the poem has twice awake. First, when the magical bag made the poet go to the dream once again, and another when he was totally transformed himself. Stake here means a piece of wood through which to which the poet was tied on, and wrinkle means a small ridges formed due to age. বয়স হয়ে গেলে যে কুচকানি ভাবটা আসে চেহারায় গায়ে, সেই crinkle. Bow here means a branch of tree, and altered means changed and transformed. Thank you very much.